as we talk about multiple teams, what we working to achieve a single goal, multiple Scrum teams. So there might be conflicts between two Scrum Masters. So during the Scrum of Scrums or something. So how do we resolve that?
I feel going forward, this will become one of the essential skill of Scrum Master. And many times people ask me, what is the difference between Scrum Master who is working in Scrum and the Scrum Master who is working in a scaled Agile? There are multiple teams, more or less the same situation you are talking about, where there are multiple teams and you are Scrum Master to a team. So as I go forward, and I keep using this metaphor, when we work in a multiple team environment, the Scrum Master plays two roles. He's a leader for his Scrum team, and he is a team member and part of a bigger team where they are interdependent on each other and they want to take the higher purpose, higher goal forward. So that's his collaboration space, and he need to be more collaborative, open in changing his approach and also communicating to the team that we are part of the bigger thing. So more interpersonal skills would be needed at that particular level. Now, if the example is coming and asking that, have you been to a situation where there was a conflict between you and the other Scrum Master in an overall program level, and how did you resolve it? So that's the question. So again, as you brought in, it's a great example that you can clearly say that it's a prioritization mismatch. The other team is focusing on a particular feature, but their previous feature has many defects. And those defects, they don't consider fixing them in upcoming 2 sprints. But because of those defects, we are blocked by some of our feature execution. And this is becoming like a clear deadlock because we are unable to proceed and they don't see any value in doing it because they have their own feature goal. They have their own commitments which they have made to their stakeholders that we will finish these features, and they wanted to finish their sprint goal. Yeah, so this was a situation. For example, this you project as a situation. Now, how you resolved it? So again, variable approach, but one of the possible thing is that you quantify the impact of those defects on your delivery or overall program. That, okay, how it is not matter of my feature is not working. It's a matter of how overall at a program level we are getting impacted. So you made that impact very clear that because of these things, these particular features are blocking, which will block the overall program delivery in this particular way. And you made that particular impact quite visible and asked a group of Scrum Masters. I hope looks like there was an internet instability in between. Yeah. So
yeah, but I'm able to hear.
Okay, you were able to. So what I'm saying is that I presented that particular case. You looked into all the possibility of defects and whatever was happening and impacting the whole program, and then you brought this case in a Scrum of Scrum for all the Scrum Masters. Said, what should we do? This is something we are facing. It is not about my team goal alone, but as a group of Scrum Masters, how should we ensure overall program delivery in this particular situation? And how should we prioritize? So we meet our common goal. So when you work in a different collaborative Scrum team, there is a common goal of these Scrum teams, and you related that issue with that common goal. That my issue is not my team issue, it is blocking the common goal. And then you presented the case in a Scrum of Scrum meeting, and that created an environment where we did a joint problem solving, and which helped the other team also empathize with, okay, there are part of a section of the work which they need to finish so that we can do forward. And you can also said that in some of the previous time when I was not matured enough, I have done a mistake directly reaching to the Scrum Master and blaming them for not doing a good code and other things and not supporting us. And you have realized that made them more defensive, and it became more like an escalation issue where I am writing mail to him and he is writing mail to me, and we are keeping our seniors in CC, and it was more becoming an ego issue, and he was finding more and more error in my logics. So after learning that it is no use of directly attacking, I have learned this particular way of doing it. So you can even bring something which has not worked before, and then you can bring something which has started working for you, and that can probably bring a good story. Anything you want to add here?
I did this. Yeah, I did the same thing actually. There was an issue like this, so we had a discussion with the Scrum team directly. I mean, with the Scrum Master, and I told them that I had a discussion with the Scrum Master, but they took it very offensive that my team cannot, make the mistakes of. It went to a situation where they thought that we were blaming the team or something. So there was a conflict between the teams. So what did I do was I said, when this thing happened and I realized that it's not going the way I thought and it is going in a very wrong way, it is actually creating a conflict between a scrum master. So then what I did is I took that question, put it in the teams channel where I have a scrum masters group, and I said, how do I approach this problem, because this is going something which I have not thought of. So how can we have a common goal? So the solution what I got from them is have a common sprint. Common sprint, so that you can resolve the dependencies if there are any, and they can understand what was going wrong, and so that's not no one is blamed. We are working together to finish that sprint goal. So if it is okay to add one more sprint line, like suppose we have sprint length of 2 weeks or something, we are adding a one more sprint week there, so that we can resolve this kind of impediment, and maybe it will be a little bit deviated from the actually the date of the release might be a little bit pushed. Is it a good idea to do that?
So what I would suggest here is, especially in interviews, don't go into that one can do this also. Then it will become too specific.
Okay.
So it might be a good idea for a one problem, so which you can give that. In my case, I end up doing this, but the essence is we took an approach where we started making common goals rather than only team goals. So we said that yes, we have a team goals, we have a team sprint goals, but as a team of teams, what is common goal for this sprint or this month or whatever the time duration you have? And then all the scrum masters who were part of those different teams, we jointly looked at that how this particular issue is impacting our common goal, and then we solve the common goal. So that is the case. And you can say that in that particular case, in that particular instance, we end up adding one more sprint, and then we resolved it in that particular case. But I'm not saying that all the time we need to add one more sprint. Yeah.
So if it is not an interview question and if it has really happened, at that time, what do you suggest? Like, what should be the situation? I mean,
what I'm hearing is, see, the first problem it might be starting with that we don't have a clear planning for interdependency. So it should start with the planning, and it should be continuous in execution and coordination throughout. So one of the thing is, if there are multiple teams working together, they should have a common planning or a common goal for a duration. It could be a sprint duration. In some cases, they do a 3-4 sprint common alignment meeting. Like in a safe word, we call it a PI planning, where we do for multiple sprints together. But whichever way, so if you have 5 teams and they are interdependent on each other, they should have a joint goal setting or a goaling meeting. You call whatever it is. You call it a big room planning, you call it a release planning, or you may still call a sprint planning, and you divide the sprint planning in 2 sections, where section 1, all the different scrum teams come together and they set up the common goal, and in a section 2 they talk about their specific goals. So there has to be a common goal to start with. That's the first thing, because if you don't have that, then it is a struggle. How do you make it visible that this thing is impacting that thing? You don't have that thing clearly defined. Yeah. So you start from there. So once your common goals are defined, team has agreed that this is how we will do the work. Now you start sprinting. Now when you start sprinting, you discover new ideas, new issues, new challenges. Then during that time, you do a scrum of scrum meeting. So you should expect it to do at least once in a week. In a new environment, you may do twice a week. So you do a scrum of scrum meetings where you reflect on how different teams are progressing towards the common goal, towards their team specific goal, and what are the challenges they are facing and how to resolve them. So this kind of items are a scrum, like the defect is blocking me from move forward. This is a scrum of scrum agenda. So you see that in a scrum of scrum coming in, and that scrum of scrum group, sometimes even it is headed by some chief scrum master, or sometimes just all 3-4 scrum master collaborate each other and resolve it. That is a good forum to resolve such kind of issues and keep adapting it on a weekly basis rather than it becomes a big item. So that's how if you go in a systematic way, this thing should be probably managed. Yeah.
Thank you, Saket.
Yeah.